What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Plain Jane Cars, and this is a Plain Jane Cars podcast. I got my mans in them in the building. You hear me? I broke up my Baltimore accent. Welcome to the show, James.
What's going on, man?
Thanks for coming, bro.
No, thanks for having me.
James the homie. So
Yes,
James and I guess it's been a year now, a little over a year. We established a little fledgling car show team. And shout out to the boys, especially
Yes.
Shay.
Yes, got rid of his Z and wanted to be a fast boy. Got a bet.
But big support in 2022, man. He would drive 2 hours, 2.5 hours in his show car to show with us.
Yes, and with no tape, no nothing.
No, he would just drive
rock
it raw.
really
I'm like,
just coming down.
this kid is for
Support.
real.
No,
Dope
real.
car too. Dope car. 350
370, yeah.
370, I'm sorry,
370 Z.
My daughter always yells at me about that. She said, "Can you figure out what is a 350, 370?" Like, no, I refuse to.
I think it was probably one of the cleanest put together Z's
Agree.
in Texas.
Oh, Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah.
Because you're a
In
Louisiana
Texas.
boy, right?
Yeah,
that
true.
was a clean
Well, I don't
car.
really know the Louisiana game.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
as far as Texas goes, I think when he pulled up, people were excited to see
What
it.
about that guy, Look Up Junior?
Clean.
That car is
That
clean,
car's clean,
too.
right? It's
Clean.
clean.
I gotta meet him. I've never met him. I don't even know if he listens. I'm gonna tag you now that I mentioned your
Yeah, he
name.
does
I'm
his
gonna
own
tag-
work. He does his own paint work and body work.
That is a pretty car. He had like teal wheels on it at one time, and I thought that car was
It's
clean.
clean.
Okay.
The white on teal was clean.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Clean.
Under Pressure.
Yes,
That's the name of the car team.
That is us.
We're all in the middle of the interesting thing about building cars, and especially building show cars, not that the listeners care about this, is it takes time. It's one of those things that you think you in your mind, I guess, because we're anxious, you want to do it. You have this vision of what you want to do. You set this mental expectation, like I know it's going to take a few months, and you might as well double whatever your
Oh yeah,
expectation
100%.
is, right?
100%.
Every part, everything. So let's go back. I like to start all my guests with their car story. I think it's important to hear, like, where did it start for you? So we'll start at your first car, and then I want to hear, like, what got you in the car. So what was your first car?
My first car, '08 Mustang GT.
No way. You
Yeah.
came in the game strong.
Yeah. So
Oh, 08. What model chassis is it 08? That's
Bro.
before SN95, right? No, that's after 95.
you gonna ask me questions?
I can't remember. No, I can't remember. So is that like the Terminator generation, like when they had the retro look?
So do you remember the
Pre-Coyote?
Yes,
For sure.
Pre-Coyote, and then you had what was it? The
The bullet cars. Like, it's in that bullet era?
it was yeah, and in essence, yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
It's been so long ago, bro.
08.
I've had 24 cars since then, so it's
Was that the car that got you in the cars? or
No,
what?
so my dad grew up racing Fox bodies.
No way. Are
Yeah.
you serious? What
Yeah.
kind of racing?
This is drag racing.
Drag
but I
racing.
was little, like I would just hear about it.
Right,
That
right,
was
right.
it.
No
So
way.
then obviously that Fast and the Furious came out. That kind of
Hey,
set it
bye.
off. Yeah, that's, you know,
yeah.
rest in peace to Paul Walker.
I know.
That's crazy.
So what was the first car that you started modifying? Because I will say you have
The Mustang.
Was it the Mustang?
Yeah, so I literally worked at Discount Tire. So I was 16.
Yeah.
So I got blessed with a brand new '08 Mustang GT at 16.
That's super cool.
And I worked at Discount Tire while still in high school.
okay.
And every paycheck went to the car.
you putting it straight in. So
Yeah.
what was your first mod? Do you remember? Like legit,
Probably-
be honest. Be
Probably
legit.
like intake, you know, just like a
Okay,
K&N,
okay,
you
okay.
know, 16 years old, Google, you know.
That's different.
American Muscle, I think it was the website that I used. I can't really
American
remember. This is
Muscle,
a while ago.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
intake, and then I bought these cheap wheels that were black. They're hideous. Now I look back and I'm like, what was I doing? But I was younger.
Bro, we all start somewhere. I tell people that all the time. Like when people see my car, especially I wish I remember this young guy's name. He was at the D3 meet, not D3. I'm sorry, the Eat Sleep Car meet
The
a
most
couple
recent
weeks
one?
ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago. And he saw my car, and unfortunately, there was a guy that was standing there that I think had a little bit too much to drink. So he was a bit of a distraction to the conversation. But he was like, yo, please tell me, like, how did you do your car? Like, he loved the car. And I was like, bro, it took time.
Time. Yeah.
It takes time.
A lot of people in this car game, they rush the process.
No.
Just
I
to
mean,
fit-
yes,
just to
they
fit in.
do. But to have something that the people look at it, man, that's a well put together car. It's like, yeah, because it takes time and it takes thought and it takes maybe getting one or two things wrong and then
Right.
you have to
And then-
redo it. And some of that is through your journey, right? Like you said, you know, you just wanted wheels. Like I thought you were going to say, because maybe this is more of a Mopar thing. First mod is to just cut the mufflers off, right?
Yeah, no, that was like probably last, because you got to remember it was SLP long tubes with SLP headers. So it was all SLP, so it was obnoxiously loud. But I
Right.
remember it was like a $1,200 exhaust
That's
system.
true.
And I'm 16 working at Discount Tire, so I had to do the cheap stuff first. You know, intake, pulleys, gears.
I'm gonna make you feel better about yourself. The first mod I did to one of my cars was putting a gym sock over the intake.
A gym sock.
I took the airbox out.
Okay, elaborate.
I took the stock airbox out.
Okay.
And I put 2 socks on it just so I have induction noise.
Wow.
Bro, boy. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there because people, that's why I don't judge people. When I see like people's janky builds, I'm like, well, you know.
Been there, done that.
I have history.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to save my money. Like you said, I saved my money and I got a cold air intake, saved my money and got an exhaust. And it wasn't even a brand name exhaust. It was kind of more like the cherry bomb style that you just pick out on the rack at the muffler shop. Bro. And they just hack welded in, you know.
I did a little bit of the research before. I'm not really a form guy.
Me.
But I did a little bit of the research and then literally just worked as many hours that I could just so I can modify that car.
That's dope. Now, what made you get rid of it? Because, I shouldn't say get rid of it. How did you move on from that car? Because your first car is so heavily modified.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I think it was just too slow.
Really?
Yeah, I had 410 gears in it.
Oh, yeah.
So
good gas mileage.
Top end was terrible. Gas mileage was trash.
Yeah.
It was cammed. I had a hot rod cam.
Ooh.
So it was nice. It sounded good. I had a cow hood. My license plate was go home.
Really?
Yeah, I have a picture
You've been
of
doing.
it. Yeah, so
You've been doing plates. You had to send me that. Well, probably. I say this all the time.
I'll see if I
you
can
send it to me, I'll snap it into so people can have appreciation.
Yeah.
And what was the next milestone car in your journey, from your perspective?
From my perspective, was probably the Hyundai Genesis 2.0 R spec.
Ooh.
It was a manual, black on the outside, red seats. That was the first car that I was like, okay, it's a manual.
Yeah.
Let's do some stuff with it. And I was one of the very first to actually have one in Houston.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you happen up? What made you go KDM? Because that's
I was looking between that and a GTO.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Completely different.
It couldn't be more.
No, completely different. So I was torn between a GTO and building out a GTO.
Okay, which I can understand.
And then that car was coming out, hadn't been released yet, and I was like, well, let me just wait and see what it looks like in person, because the designs of what you see online compared to person is night and day difference. So I was like, let me see, because I already know what the GTO looks like. Right. So 100%. I was like, let me just see what this car looks like, and then went to the dealership, looked at it, and bought it.
Really?
Yeah, drove it and bought it.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah, this is it.
How'd you mod that car?
I didn't even I had that car for 6 months. Went to jail for street racing.
No.
Yep, 2 months into having it. Went to jail for street racing right there off of Greenhouse and I-10.
In that car?
In that car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop.
So, yeah, that happened. I got rear-ended twice, 2 separate times in Whataburger drive-thrus.
You got to be kidding me.
No, not lying.
That car had to go.
It had to go. And then
it had bad juju on it. Like, I'm done.
And then on top of that, my driver's side mirror got shattered by something in the parking lot.
I'm done.
Yeah, so 4 instances, four no-goes on the Genesis.
I had a car like that, and I actually liked my car. And it was just like, even my kids, they were y'all like, Daddy, you need to get rid of that car. I was like, I agree. It was like, it's bringing bad energy, man. I don't know. Somebody did something wrong in that car, and I bought it because it was a used car.
It was bad juju, man.
Yeah.
I've been through my fair share of cars, man. I've had the good, I've had the bad.
Sure.
You know, I had a 1995 Ford Explorer. I had a 2010 Chevrolet Aveo with crank windows.
Chevy Aveo.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've had a lot of people are like
struggle car, man.
A lot of people don't understand that. You know?
I've been through my struggle cars too, man. And you know the funny thing is, when I was younger, I'm like you in a lot of ways. I think that's why we vibe. I have taste in everything. Right. I mean, I was looking at Chevy SS's. I was looking at the Genesis when they first came out with the 2-door, and I'm like, the 2.0T or the V6. I have an eye for everything. Yep. And I see value. So at one time, this was probably about 10, just before I moved to Houston. So 13 years ago now. I had a 1987 Chrysler Conquest TSI.
Don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
I was born in 92.
It's a Mitsubishi Starion. I had a 2005 Dodge Neon SRT4.
Okay, I used to race those all the time with a Mustang.
Yes.
Stage 2.
91. I was stage 2. I was stage 3 with toys, actually. And I had to,
Back in the, you remember Highway 6 Westheimer days?
I wasn't around then. I keep hearing so many stories. It was just before I was in Pennsylvania when I had that car.
Okay, got you.
I had a 1995 RT. So it's Dodge Neon RT.
Okay.
I had two of them. And I had an EG Civic as my daily.
Got you.
Just
I don't know
all
anything
over
about the
road.
Civic game, bro. I just when I
was in
see
the
a
Hondas.
Civic and I like it, I'm like, okay, that's clean. But
I
as
was in
far
the
as like
Hondas.
engines and all that stuff,
I had
don't
an
know.
EG, EK. I had two EKs. I was in the Civic. I built partially built the race car. Back in the day, I didn't have the finances or the stick-to-itiveness to finish any build. I had a G-body with hydraulics on it. I got it reinforced, chained up, bridged, got everything basically fixed, and then wanted to race. So I traded it on a EK Civic. Hatched it was like a third of the way there, and I took it to like 2/3 of the way there, and I wound up selling that.
Yep.
Like just it's all over the place. Anyway, my point is saying, like what you said, we've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
a lot
when
of
you
people don't
see
understand it. A
Yeah,
lot
when
of
you
people don't
see under pressure at shows, we appreciate it. And we got our badges, we got our scars, we got the tattoos. We already knowing, what the come up is like.
Yeah. I remember going in that Mustang to the Burlington Coat Factory on Highway 6 in Westheimer and seeing the new Lexus. I can't remember what it was, but it just came out. It was like 400 horsepower, and I was like, I can't wait to be that.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's been with me, since I got that Mustang for sure. And I was like, one day I'm going to get back into the game.
So I'm curious. So Mustang seemed like fast boy. Hyundai seemed like kind of fast boy stuff. When
Young
did you
boy stuff, man.
Young,
Yeah.
same.
Young boy. I
But
was
what
20.
made you transition to show stuff though? Because that's a different. I'm not saying it's a different crowd, but it's kind of like a different offshoot of the car game. Because
100%.
generally they don't cross. Generally speaking,
The money has to be there.
that's true.
To be in
a little less expensive to go
in an
fast.
elite show car category, not saying I'm there, but it's on the way
No,
there.
no, I'm with you.
You have to financially be stable in order to really compete. 100%. I have more money in the STI than it's worth brand new.
Oh,
And it's like, I could never do that 7 years, 10 years ago. It's like, there's no, like, I can't even.
it's not even So the kid that was at the meet that said, he asked, and I don't mind when people ask this, right? And he knew he was being very genuine. I could see he was probably 19 or 20 years old. He's like one of my kids' age, right?
Right.
And he said, look, he's like, I know this is a rude question. He's like, sir. I'm like, nah, it's cool. What's up? He was like, how much do you have into it? I said, you know what I told him? I ain't never added it up. Why would I want to know?
That's rich boy problem.
Way too much. Like you can tell. He's like, I can tell. I was like, you guess. We can both guess. It's a lot.
Yeah, we got money in our cars. And,
Here's the one thing I'll give suggestions to anybody. If we have listeners out there that are like older, younger, whatever like that, and this is my opinion, I'm not necessarily saying it's James. One thing I will say is take your time.
100%.
Take your time.
Social media ruins that, bro.
Yeah.
Social media ruins.
Everybody wants to be so fast.
So fast. Instead of
Take your time.
taking time.
It costs you money going faster because, like I told him, I redid the BMW 3 times.
Yeah, I don't.
The first time I did it, and I was like, I ripped it all off and did it again and ripped it. And I don't even talk
You're
about
about to do
wrap.
it again.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even talking about the wrap. I'm talking about like the core, like how I wanted the car to look.
Right. Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about it. Like you gotta take your time.
Yeah. 100%.
Take your time.
Yeah. My
Talk
dad.
to people
My
who've
dad
done it,
always
too.
told me growing up. He's like, you're never really gonna know who you are until you're 30.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, because you go through different stages in your life.
Oh,
Like back when I was 16, I thought what I did with my Mustang with the cow hood, the wheels, it was loud, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was
Dope.
cool. Now I look back at it, I'm like, what was I doing?
wow.
Yeah.
But it's a
crazy.
part of how you get to where you are right now.
100%.
So give me the answer. Is it only money? So you always saw yourself going into
No.
show?
No.
Yeah, something had to click.
I don't
You
know, bro.
saw
So I
something.
literally, all right, so how I got back into the car game was I was literally off. I woke up. I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm going to go build an STI. Went to the dealership.
Word.
Yeah, I went to the dealership that day, Gilman Subaru
Yep.
on 45 North.
Yep.
They had an STI on the showroom and I bought the car.
No
And-
way.
And
Same way you did the Hyundai.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a spontaneous.
No,
I'm a
that sounds
spontaneous
impulsive.
purchaser. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I do what I want when I want to do it. Yeah.
I
I'm with
think in
you.
1 year I bought 4 cars. I rolled over 27 grand in negative equity into that Tesla out there.
No
Yeah, it's
way.
crazy. Yeah. I'll always forever embrace a monthly payment car note.
So, okay, let's talk about that for a second if you don't mind,
Yep.
right? So I was talking to Hussein. If you haven't watched that episode, he's been on twice.
Okay.
Him and Lisi. And he has a supercar collection, right? And he's cash long. He good. So he's probably, doing a combination of financing and cash. Half down on a $400,000 car, 200 grand. Your payment's still probably $4 or $5 grand a month, right?
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, I met a guy. So years ago, I was buying all of my cars cash. Because that was like the G move, like in the hood. Like, it's like, oh, no, I don't no car payment, man. I'm out here, whatever, right? And a mentor of mine looked at me like I was crazy. He said, what? He said, well, what's your credit like? I said, my credit's all right. Probably like a 680.
Right.
660.
You can get approved.
If I'm being honest.
Get approved?
Yeah, I can get approved. And he was like, well, how much cash you got? Like real cash. Like you can go touch and take out, not 401k, not borrowing from your 401k, and like real cash, liquid cash. I said, I like 50 grand. He's like, first of all, you shouldn't have 50 grand cash. What kind of lifestyle you living? That's too much money that's not working for you.
Okay.
He said, second of all, how much is your 401k returning? Your Roth IRA, whatever, right? Whatever you have. I looked it up right then on my phone. I said, at that time, it was good. It was 13%.
Okay.
For the previous year, I guess it said. He said, okay. He said, how much do you think the interest will be on a used car? I said, I don't know. He said,
what year was this?
This was in...
Because interest rates are jumping up now. I'm in
They're crazy now.
I'm a finance manager, so I'm in the car industry.
So back then, this is 2000. What was that first? I financed my Benz. So it was 2014. 2000. It was 2015. It was either 14 or 15.
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Okay.
It was 1 year old, so it was used car financing.
Right.
5%.
Not bad. That's what it is.
It's 5%.
You can get that right now with excellent credit.
So I had marginal, I would say, because I was 660.
That's
it was
then.
like 660, between 660. I was below 700 for
so
sure.
If you're at 5% good credit, you're looking at what, like 1.9, 2.9. So
right.
You're right in the mix.
You're right. And they were back then. They were still doing on new cars. They were doing like 0% if you remember, because it was just out of the not necessarily the crash, but the money was cheap back then. Of course. So they were on brand new cars. You can get 0% financing, or you can get 0.9 stuff like that. So he said, so you're telling me the ARB between your cash, right? So the ARB is how much the bank will charge you for a loan, 5%.
Right.
And how much you can make in your 401k, 13%.
Right.
He said, why would you spend your money? He said, put your money in a, self-directed Roth IRA and line it up and make 13%, and you only you paying this payment for only 5%.
Right.
He said, now if it tips the other way, use cash.
Yeah. So
he said, but if you can work, if your money can work and make money, make a monthly payment.
Yeah.
It changed my life. Because my whole idea was broke people have car payments.
Yeah.
It's like, well, all my rich friends have car payments.
Yeah.
They actually do. I didn't know until they told me. I'm like, you have a car payment? He's like, no, I use the bank's money when it makes sense.
Facts.
If it doesn't make sense to use the bank's money, then I use my own money. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that.
That's a good mentor.
That's a good mentor.
Change your life.
Yeah, he changed my life financially. The way I manage my finances, the way I look at, because we were traders. He's like, you don't manage your finances the way you manage your book at work. And I started thinking about it. I was like, but we have money. We all have money, right? We make good money. He was like, no, just do it the same way we do it.
I think that's the one thing that I'm lacking in life is a mentor, because I have the money.
Really?
It's a mentor.
Got you, man.
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk.
Man, I have to spread the gospel, man. Let's get back on track, though. I do like talking about that because I think people get this. There are people that were like me. I was 30. And you have this misconception of, having a bunch of money means that you don't have a loan or you don't have debt. No, you manage it smartly. Yeah, you manage it.
Some people live outside of their means too.
It's one thing that is the worst thing. If I can give anybody any advice, just don't
stay within your lane, man.
Yeah, you do okay. And that's why I built the M4, and that's why he built the Subaru.
Yeah.
Because I tell people I could have a Porsche, but then I want to be able to do what I want to.
Same way.
I'd be poor. I'd be just paying for the car, right? Yeah. I'd be like the other people I know that own.
Drea, my girl, she's like, why do you keep dumping money into this car? You want a Lambo. What are you doing?
But I love it.
I'm like, because I've always wanted to build one.
That's right. So let's talk about that. What was your first show car?
The STI.
The STI was the one that
yeah.
And when you 2020, right?
2020.
What was the first modification? Now let's talk about modification. No. What I really want to ask you is, how did you figure out how you wanted the car to look? Because it has a distinct look. There's a lot of STIs out there. I'm going to be honest.
Correct.
A lot of show STIs
a
out.
ton.
And they're all across the gambit. There's static, there's stancy boys with the tilty wheels, there's bags, there's wide bodies, all the different generations. It's a very hard car to modify and stand out.
It is. Very much so.
What gave you the vision around how you built your car?
I like loud.
That yellow is
I like being loud.
His car is yellow.
Which is why, the STI is yellow, the Supra is pink.
Yes.
It's loud.
Yeah.
I was going to do the Tesla orange.
Oh,
but dude, I think
breaking news.
I think I think I'm not going to touch the Tesla.
I like the color of the Tesla.
I don't think I'm gonna touch it at all.
Oh, you're gonna keep it?
I just like I think Tesla's a terribly built car.
It's bad.
It is. You're driving an iPad.
Anyway, yeah.
You're driving an iPad. Yeah. But at the grand scheme of things, I like the convenience of just being able to get in it. It's fast. You just get in it and go, drive it like crazy, and just enjoy it.
Almost zero maintenance.
Yeah, I mean
that's the cool thing. You really don't need brakes if you use your regen. Yeah, maybe tires is probably the
tires.
Only real maintenance item.
It's a performance, so tires. Launching the car. So.
That's so funny. Yeah. So you kind of went over it. I was going to ask you what's currently in the garage, but you just said it. So 2020 STI, show car.
Yep.
The 2022,
Supra. It's going to be a show car.
Soon to be show car, bagged up, wrapped.
Got custom taillights. Yeah.
Which are cool.
Yeah.
And then the 2023 or 2022?
2022.
2022
Tesla Model 3 Performance.
Model 3 Performance. Yeah. What a garage. What a garage. Yeah. I ask people this, and normally I ask it a little bit later in the show, but I'm interested in hearing if you had your trifecta. I go for 3 cars because 3 just sounds good.
Of course, you always have that.
It's that number. I don't know why.
What was funny is that when I had the Mustang, I was like, I don't understand why people have more than one car. Because I loved the car when I was 16, right? So I'm like, I just want to drive this every single day.
Totally. And then you grow up, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you got to have options.
3 cars.
3 cars, yeah, for sure.
What would you pick?
Oh, my God.
But no, budget's not a limit.
Right. The go-to is a Koenigsegg.
Woo. Which one?
I don't know. Any of them.
Any of them,
Just
give me an egg.
Yeah, just give me,
That's funny, man.
Yeah,
that's funny.
A Zonda.
I'm going to put you in a CCX.
A Pagani Zonda for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
And then...
young man.
Yeah, that's. And then the third, I feel like I'd have to have something that's like an SUV, maybe like a G-Wagon, just to, the commuter. You got it. That's like the trifecta, like pop the garage.
Rich boy. You talk about me, rich boy stuff. Boy.
That's a dream.
That is a dream garage, though, right?
We got to turn a dream into reality.
Yo, speak it into existence, man.
You got to.
I'm not arguing with a Zonda. That's probably, I think I told this story on the podcast a couple episodes ago. I remember I was in London when it first came out for business. And Pagani just had like a showroom, like it was more like it's in a Marble Arch area. It was more like almost like a Tesla store. It wasn't a dealership. It was just like a showroom.
Okay.
And they had the Zonda and the Zonda R just sitting in the glass. I have the picture on my phone. I'll show it to you off camera.
What is it? The white with the black and the red stripe?
I have the picture of it.
That thing's...
And the MP412C had just come out. Like all those cars were like and I was just standing like a little kid in the window like, oh. My goodness. Yeah. So I've always will have fond memories of the Zonda. And Koenigsegg, just for technology. Yeah, Christian von Koenigsegg. That dude's a genius. Him and Horatio. Yeah, actually, the episode with Joel, we talked about this. We talked about the best cars in each category. So go listen to that episode if you haven't.
What do you think is your best overall built car for a daily?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you.
So, like, a modifying or just regular?
Straight in, get in, go... Every day, daily.
Well, I'm going to say my Ram 2500, but it's not. It's not. For everybody and for anybody, the Hyundai GV70.
Okay, the brand new one.
The brand new one. And the only reason I'm saying that car is it's everything that anybody really wants.
It's not the answer I was expecting.
But it's extraordinarily practical. Like, if you see the interiors on them, twin turbo V6 is an option. It's like 360 horsepower, 350 horsepower, everything you would want. Excellent gas mileage, crazy powertrain warranty. You know it's going to last forever. And it looks attractive.
Okay.
It's a good looking car. And that's kind of like my practical, advice.
That's a that's a curveball.
I'm being honest. I'm practical.
Like 911.
Nah. A 911 is not like... It's not practical. Like, it's not I don't think, for a GT car, it is, right? For a second car. For like, if it's your second, maybe even your third car, for sure. Like, you got the budget. But if you want something that covers all the bases, like you could pull up to the valet and be good.
That's yours.
Get that GV70. I'm telling people like right now, like I need to go work at a Hyundai dealership. They got something with that.
You need to be a salesperson, yeah.
They got something with that one. I'm not gonna lie. What's your pick? Because the next question is actually, give me your most practical pick. Yeah. Budget is a limit, $50,000. What is that car? What's that car for you?
50,000?
50 grand max.
Whoo-wee. Man, what am I gonna do? That's a tough question, bro.
You're in
50. I'm in.
You're
the
in the business, bro.
I understand, but 50 grand.
I came up with one like that.
That was quick. You're like, I got that in the back pocket.
I do though, low key.
I don't know, man. I would probably have to go on 50 grand. The new BMW. I don't know, dude. Like a 4 Series. The new 4 Series look nice. The brand new ones.
Grand Coupe?
Yes, the 4-door. The brand new ones look nice.
I agree.
Like I just recently started at BMW and I saw one for the first time. I'm like, that is a nice.
It's a nice car.
Night and day difference from the older body style.
And can you get one? Get in one under 50? I don't know. I'm not. I'm just asking.
They may be like mid to upper 50s.
I would think.
I may be having to put down payment to get to that 50.
Because all of this funny right now, like looking at cars. This is because I'm old, and I'm sure people older than me are like, what? You know, people in their 50s and 60s, they're probably like, what in the world's happening?
They don't like technology.
Well, what I'm saying is a 3 Series, or excuse me, an M3, entry level performance car. It's over $100,000.
Yeah, it's 100 grand.
Decently equipped, like a couple options. You're over 100 very easily.
Yeah, very, very easy.
And you can be a 110-ish.
You don't buy a base model M3.
I did. I got a baseball. I don't even have EDC, man.
The M3s that I've been seeing ordered at the dealership that I'm at and then have been picked up are typically your X drives.
They're over 100.
They're in the hundreds. Yeah.
That's, I mean, to me, that's it. Even in
low
one generation.
But yeah.
But in one generation, right? Because my car, I think in the F generation, you could get into one. I bought mine a year old, it was 57. But if you bought it brand new, maybe 75. And we were shocked back then. You're like, 80 grand. Like people paying 80 grand for M3, M4. Now that's in 10 years. $100,000. Yeah. That's expensive. So I'm just saying all to say, cars are becoming, well, you know, nice cars are expensive now,
they are.
Man.
You definitely have to pay to play in the car. In the car, that's what I'm saying. Show car, non-show car, whether there's levels.
It is levels to it. Listen, what's the future for your garage? Do you have anything on the horizon that you're willing to share?
I do.
What's popping?
I don't know, man. So we're paying off the STI by the end of the year.
Nice.
So a lot of people don't know this. It's a lease.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna buy it? I'm assuming.
So obviously, I'm gonna buy it at the end. So
well, you know the really thing, you know. So
a lot of people don't understand.
I have a lease.
Yeah. Okay.
My wife's car is a lease, so I'm on your side. But go ahead.
So a lot of people. So tax credits is a big thing.
Yes.
Okay. So
you don't want to lose it.
A lot of people don't know what tax credits are. So whenever you go to lease a vehicle, if it's $70,000, you get tax credits. You pay no taxes. Right. So your payment's cheaper.
Yep.
Right. So and then whenever you go and you buy it
out, he works at a dealership. Inside information.
So it just depends on residual and money factor, right? So if those align up, you could actually come ahead. If you lease a brand new vehicle, no money down, make your first payment, whatever the case may be, and you get tax credits, okay? And then whenever your lease is up, and then you buy out your lease, you pay taxes on the cheaper amount.
Right, the lower dollar amount,
correct.
Right? Yeah, not the original.
Correct.
value.
So there's different ways that you can work the numbers. Like, for instance, the STI, I'm probably going to be right at breaking even.
Okay.
So I took a cheaper payment now. Mm-hmm. Invest my money elsewhere, and then of course whenever the lease is up, just pay cash for it. It'll be the first car I ever own.
Really?
Fully, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
My first blue title, man.
That's so cool.
I switch cars too much, man.
I went through that, and my wife always has something new.
Of course. Well, I mean,
must be nice. Yeah, it must be nice. And having something new, like I realized, I always had a payment. You know what I mean? I've owned.
You embrace the payment. You're gonna payment for life.
Well, as crazy as it sounds to me, and it had nothing to do with my mentor's advice, right? But it was just like, wait, I'm like really taking a bath on the cars that she gets because just mainstream SUV.
Yeah, BMW X5.
And I'm still putting $15,000-$20,000 down to like pay the depreciation up front because when we get rid of it, it's break even. Like I'm not upside down or anything like that. I'm not doing gap coverage or anything, but it's like you're just throwing 15 grand at it. So I used to like clown leases because I'm like, yo, you just renting a car, bro.
You got options on a lease though.
But then I realized, I'm de facto doing the same thing. In a way.
In a way, yeah. If you finance it, put no money down in 3 years, you sell the car, why not lease it, let the bank take the hit?
Do the same thing. And just go into another vehicle.
And you got options, yep.
If you are the type to have a car payment, and I would say by and large, mainstream, right? People that are kind of middle class, they got a car payment.
Yeah, you got a car
It's the
payment.
way of the world. You have a car payment.
Yeah.
There's people that lease. There's people that lease. I don't think that I probably had a stigma on leasing.
The big thing too is if you don't drive a lot of miles, you need the
Let's talk about that for 1 second, because you're insider information. Don't buy extra miles, y'all.
Yeah, do not.
I pay for extra miles.
Yeah, do not.
Up front.
Yeah, what, 10 cents?
Stupid.
Or 25 cents?
Because I was like, well, I don't want the stress. I don't know. I was a BMW, whatever BMW did. I was like, yeah, give me an extra, because I think the base is like 10 or 12.
Yeah, you can do 10, 12,
I think
15.
I went to 13 or 14.
Miles
per
year?
Miles per year.
So it's 10, 12, 15.
Maybe it's 15. Yeah. I don't know. I can look at it. Either way, I think we have maybe 45,000 miles or something like that.
That boy said, I'm going to get hit. Let me buy some miles.
She's driven 15,000 miles in 2 years.
Yeah, why'd you buy the miles? What are we doing?
Well,
First of all, you should have did a 10,000 mile a year lease. Near probably a 7,500 if it was available.
Yes.
Yeah, you're throwing money away.
I was like, what am I doing? So I drove it the other day just to like not be
And
mad.
you have the peace of mind, bro. You bought the peace of mind.
I did buy the peace of mind and paid up front because it's like 10 cents up front. On the back end, it's more.
It's like, yeah, it's 25 cents.
Yeah, it's more. So I was
sometimes
like,
up to 30, depending on the bank.
I don't want to have the concern of I'm turning this thing in and I got to write a check when I turn it in. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. So I just pay it up front. But anyway, and I was like, how much does it cost? I was like, I don't want that in the payment. I'll just
pay for it up front.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just write a check for that.
So the biggest thing, so me personally, I think it's silly to put money down on a lease. That's my personal opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because all it does is reduce your monthly payment.
Right,
because you're not getting that money back.
Because really, it's all the same. Is what he's saying, right? So
it's all the same.
All the lease is it's a chunk of like. So if you agree, and I'm bad at math, so I'm not going to do a real term. I'm going to do easy math for myself. If you agree to a lease that's a $40,000 lease, and you have a 10-month term, you'll pay $4,000 a month. If you put $10,000 down, it's now a $40,000 lease with a $30,000 balance.
Yep.
You'll pay $3,000 a month. It's all the same.
Keep your money. Keep your money.
It's a true installment.
You just it's
a legit installment. Yeah, that's what it is. So I agree with you. It doesn't. Yeah, put money down.
You put money down to reduce the monthly payment. That's all it is.
Yeah,
but I'd rather invest that money down. Make
now, I didn't bring you here to talk about this. We got a little bit of time. But real quick. I want to talk about one more thing. What is the worst thing to say to a salesperson if you're looking for a new car? Help our listeners that are shopping.
The worst person.
The worst thing to say when you're walking into a dealership looking for a car.
Oof. Oh, bro, there's so many, bro. There's too many.
I'm gonna give y'all some advice because he can't go against the trade. Never tell a salesperson how much you can pay a month. Ever. I'm looking in the camera. Don't you ever walk into a dealership and say, I'm just trying to pay $550 a month. Because you know what they're going to say to you? Got you, homie. We got you a $565, man. You know, $15 over, but don't you dare.
You've been screwed over before.
No. I'm fortunate my dad bought so many cars. He is the worst to deal with. He is a salesperson's and a finance manager's nightmare. He loves it. And I watched it my entire life. I get my bug from him. He's bought 60 or 70 cars. No exaggeration.
Okay.
And I watched him. He is the guy. And he walked out on deals. Like he wanted the car. And it was like $1 difference. He's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, Daddy, bro, like, that's another one.
And at that point, I want to throw hands.
Yo, he was that dude. They call him back. He ignored the phone call. He like, nah, you had your shot. So I learned from that. Like he was like, no, don't you ever tell them. Like, how much you got to put down? Nothing. Not a dime. You got to trade in? I don't know.
Here comes Charles.
Yeah, I got a car. I don't know if I'm going to trade it in or not. I ain't made up my mind. No, I'm sorry. I'm giving up all the goods. Yeah, man.
No, yeah, stick.
Don't give them all the gems, y'all.
No,
Y'all gotta.
man, it's as long as you're happy with your monthly payment, that's all that matters.
That's what them car
That's all that
dealerships want you to believe.
That's all that matters.
That's what they want
That's
you
all
to
that
believe.
matters.
Come in here, we'll figure out this whole thing. Ran you through 7 different banks.
It's
and
crazy.
You got a 9% interest
So I'm going to
rate.
defend the car industry.
Please do.
I'm going to defend it. So it's crazy how you have customers that belittle car salespeople because it's a profitable organization. But let's just say, for instance, you go and you buy $1 million house from a real estate agent and they get paid 3%.
Yeah.
How much is that? But yet you don't bash them for trying to help you
It's true.
buy a house.
It's true.
Everybody needs to eat, man.
I agree. No, I think I agree with that. One of the things I say I've never negotiated with a dealership on is the cost of the car.
Yeah.
Because I said you should charge what you if that's what it's worth. I've seen people do that and they'll bring in advertisement from another place and that kind of stuff. What normally I will be a stickler on is if I'm doing a trade.
Of course.
Right.
Everybody wants more money for their trade.
That's why I'm negotiating, right? Like I feel like I'm not going to be here unless I think you got the right dollar for the right car. Like I won't. And the guys that I deal with, and the other thing that I appreciate and I'm willing to pay for is I don't do the back and forth to the finance manager. So shout out to Sonic, the Sonic guys, and Auto Nation. There's a couple guys, I'm not going to say their names on here because they may not want to be, but it's 2 salesmen I've dealt with over my last probably like 9 cars since I've lived here. One turn.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Pre-owned cars or new cars?
New and pre-owned.
Because on the pre-owned side, Sonic, Auto Nation, they're one price stores, so there's no negotiating on that side. On the pre-owned side,
Well,
new car side, free game.
I wonder if I don't know. Yeah. I don't negotiate.
I work for
right?
both.
Okay, yeah.
I work for Sonic Automotive. I work for BMW West out there in Katy.
I bought a few cars
I'm
from
a
them.
salesperson there.
Yeah, I bought a few cars from them, and my most important for me, there's value in my time, and being in a dealership.
That's the good thing about working
For
with
8 hours.
with a luxury dealership.
Yeah.
So if you work for BMW, Audi, Porsche, Mercedes, a good amount of your customers value their time.
100%.
So if you
I
can,
want to be in there.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they don't.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. I don't want to either.
wanna be in
I don't
there.
want to either. It's a process.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fun process.
No,
So
I'm trying to think of her name. What's the finance lady over there?
what, Lourdes?
Lourdes.
Yeah, finance director.
Lourdes is a G.
She's an OG, bro. She's
I'm gonna
good
let you
people.
know right now.
She's
when
good people.
I got my wife's car. I'm giving Lourdes a shout out, and I'm tagging BMWS in this.
Yeah, she's good people.
She walked in. She said, "I already heard how you are."
Hey, but y'all appreciate it. The
Yup.
customers appreciate
Yup.
that.
She was like, "Mr. Charles." She had all the paperwork lined up with the signature part ready to go. She said, "I can explain to you what each one of these forms are, or we can just get them signed to get you out of here." I said, "Where's the pen?"
Yep.
I walked into the dealership. Aaron isn't there anymore. That's where I bought the car from. at the
Okay.
time.
Yeah, he's no longer there.
Walked into the dealership. It was less than, I think it was 42 minutes. It was something like that. I started a stop.
This man had a stopwatch.
Yeah. I said, if it's not done in an hour, I'm good.
That's crazy.
And Aaron was like, I got it. Cars washed, windows tinted. Lord. And he was nervous because when he walked, not nervous, but he was like, I'm going to get you out of here.
Because it's a process.
Yeah,
bro.
he's like, I'm going to get you out of here. And Lourdes had somebody in the office.
That's what I'm saying.
And he came over to me. He was like, bro, I know she has to be finished because she knows. I told her. And sure enough, so she was like, I'm sorry. I already know what time it is. But she like took 2 minutes getting on. Because I saw, I'm like, but I ain't the guy to walk out. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting right in front of her office. I can see it. I'm like, what is she doing? Shout out to Lourdes. Shout out to the whole West team,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, Maria Makata.
All them folk, I go over, I mess with them because they looked out for me, especially during the pandemic because it was tough to get that car. But anyway.
I worked there during the pandemic.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're at BMW now, right?
I'm at BMW, yeah.
Which one?
Woodlands.
Holy moly. Is that called North or no?
No, you have BMW North, but then you have BMW Woodlands. It's about 11 miles more north up 45.
Who is the auto group?
Auto Nation.
Oh, is it Auto Nation? Okay. Oh, and West is Sonic, isn't it?
West is Sonic.
I thought
and
so.
so is 59 Momentum.
59, because I started with Momentum. That's where I bought my first BMW. Shout out
Sonic.
to Dave.
Yeah, Sonic.
That was Sonic. And I kind of got in the Sonic mix. And once they opened the store out West, then I was like, man, I was living over there. So I'm
Yeah, because it was off of Highway 6 and I-10. They
Yes.
closed down and moved towards
Yes, they moved out
right
there.
down the street from you.
Isn't that something, man? That's crazy. I bought too many cars. Man, I love this conversation. We've been all over the place. I appreciate it. One thing I wanted to hear, not just before we close out the show, anybody you want to shout out? Any stories you want to tell? Anything like that?
Sure. So 3 shops in Houston, EVS Motors.
Shout out.
Ted,
Sean.
Yeah, Russell.
The boys.
The boys. Obviously Darren with D3 Motors. Dude, you actually know what Darren did?
Please.
On a Sunday. I
DB'd
it.
Yes.
The STI DB'd it.
So just to let you guys know what DB'd means, he runs an aggressive stretch on his tires to get the specific look.
Not too aggressive, but yeah.
Not crazy, but a stretch, right?
Stretch, yeah.
And there's time. So where the wheel and the tire intersect, every now and then it can come apart and it loses air. We call that DB'ing.
I was on the way to a car meet.
Yes.
Out in La Centera.
Car culture,
Yeah,
Tony.
so I DB'd, I get out, and I'm like, I have nobody to call.
It's Sunday morning,
It's
probably,
Sunday
right?
morning, bro. Called Darren, answers. I was like, bro, you won't believe it. Bro got in his truck, came, hooked me up, took me to Firestone or whatever, just get a tire, just get the car home. So big shout out, Darren.
Darren, good folk,
Darren's
man.
good people, bro.
Can I tell a quick story, too?
Go ahead, bro.
Give you next shout out. So same thing with Darren. So my car, my air rod's been goofy for
I just drove it
years.
At Darren's, bro.
It just, and it's finally to the point where I'm like, I had somebody else work on it, and even they were like, we don't know. So I brought it there, and it's sitting there. I set a car meet for his shop, or at his shop. I was like, bro, you work on airlift? He's like, yeah, I'm a distributor for him. I was like, you mind working on a car? He's like, yeah, leave it here. I'm like, bro,
My man.
So that's what the car is right now.
No,
Solid dude. Sorry, your next shout
out. John Gray, Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Dope.
Those are the three shops that touch my cars and will only touch my cars.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shout out Cosmic Motorsports.
I was gonna say, because you got some stuff. They put all your
for the STI. They're the only shop that touches the STI.
Yeah, I was like all your carbon and stuff like that. Those guys. I was gonna say. I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, that's the only shop that'll touch the STI.
Bet. Man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no,
bro.
I appreciate you, bro.
I really do. The conversations are always full. Definitely gonna have to have you on again. And it took us a little bit of restraint here. Because as you guys know, I'm looking at the camera as I say this. If you're listening to this on podcasting platforms, I'm talking into the camera so you can hear my stern voice. We could air some people out in Houston right now. But one of the things about the car game is we know it takes patience. We know it takes time, but we want to be treated fairly. And we understand what our platform can do, and we understand the reach that it has. And we want people to do the right thing by us.
Yes. That's
So
all we ask.
Understand when this is being recorded that both of us are patiently waiting for some wrongs to be righted.
That is factual.
And we don't want to. What I'm saying is, it will be easy for
We're
us
both
to.
in the same situation.
Yeah,
what are the odds?
It would be
odds?
easy to throw people under the bus, but I always say good energy begets good energy. So I want to make sure that things are
I've
wrong.
done my part.
Yeah, I kind of done the heavy lifting now. It's kind of on them to do their part to get it right.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could tell a story because it ends well.
Hopefully.
Because I think the story's going to get told.
I pray, Lord Jesus' name, amen.
Yeah. The story is going to get told. I just hope that they do the right thing.
That's definitely it. Before we go.
Yes, please.
I got to know. So we get asked a lot.
Yes.
How do we drone under pressure?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so under pressure.
I get the DM a lot.
That is true. I got one recently.
What are the requirements?
So, like any other car team, I think who you are as a person is number one importance. Right? Like, do we want to be associated? And I'm not saying we're anybody special, but we are guys. We have a reputation. I mean, you have a large following on social media. I have a platform. So we make sure you're the right mix for the team. And I think your car needs to be to a certain point that you can look at our cars, right? You can kind of look at our cars and see, like, we as the founders set a standard that the cars have to be complete. That's what I would say.
In an essence.
Yeah, in an essence. And it can be in progress. Like, you can have things that you're working on because we're doing
like
it.
a relative term.
It's a relative term. And complete, what I mean by that is when people look at James's car, when people look at my car, they see it.
Oh, yeah, they know.
They get the whole, they're like, bro, because the car is complete. Now, I've been hearing that for 2 years, and I've done modifications since people start saying, this is the most complete BMW M4 I've seen. And I've modified it since then. So,
right.
And I think that's what we're looking for, right? Some continuity.
Yep.
Something that's tastefully modded, something that you can see there was a vision and you're building around that vision. I think those are the components.
I think
what say ye?
No, I would say the biggest thing is you look at a vehicle on social media and you're like, that thing is clean.
Yeah, we don't want Instagram models. We do not want an Instagram model.
That's what I feel like the game's full of.
It is.
Unfortunately.
And you know what? I blame the creators. No, I'm joking. Yo, these Hannah, Remnant, Ezra.
Shout out Hannah.
They do such a good job.
Remnant, yeah.
Even my boys, like I haven't done photography, like had my guys
808.
shoot. Yeah, 808. Ghost Studios used to do all of my photos. And I would be like, that's not my car. It's like they do so good. And then you see some of these cars in person. And that's why I believe there are some shows that won't come back here.
I would love to be a judge.
I
would be probably hated because I'm a hard judge because I look at my car.
Yeah,
and
critically.
It's 3 years old.
100%.
I'm very, very anal with my car. Like everybody that knows me and seen the car in person, it is what it is. When you see it on Instagram, you see it in person.
It's the same thing.
It's the
Same
thing.
my car, same way.
So I just spent $1,600 just redoing the wheels to make them look brand new because they had a few scuffs. Cracked my fender, so I'm getting that redone. Like it's like I that's what I expect, especially if you're investing so much time and money into something that you love.
Yes.
You know, that's why shortcut it.
Quick story time. We're supposed to end it, but we got a couple minutes. So if you made it to this part of the podcast, and you're on YouTube, say you made it to the end, and I will pin your comment. Shout out to you. There's a show called WekFest. I think to me, it's one of the more respectable Wek. Yeah. Week. I don't know how you say it.
They ain't never coming back.
It's week of Wek. They ain't never
coming back.
They ain't never coming back.
It's the same old same in Houston, though, man. It's kind of boring going, now I understand why you bring your car and just... I'm out. So this is being recorded the week of Clean Culture. Shout out to Nick and the crew. And I can't go, unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah,
you couldn't go.
I know.
Like,
I got work. Yeah.
It's coming out like in June. You know? We got a couple episodes. But unfortunately, a lot of the heavy hitters don't come out. And I don't consider, I think me and James are in that conversation of heavy hitters in Houston.
In our own category.
In our own category. We're
like
not,
super BMW category, right?
Yeah, I think there's some guys out there, we know this. Like,
oh, yeah, we know. Like Drew.
Drew is, I hit Drew up and was like, Drew, come on, man. Could you come out?
That dude's build is
nutty.
It's
next level.
And he does all the work in the
Shout out to Drew King.
Yes, 100%. They're probably one of the cleanest cars in the country. In the country. Because it's
and I've watched it. I've watched it over the years just get so
4 a.m. still working. I'm like, bro, go to sleep.
He out there welding.
Yes.
Crazy. Nick's car too.
Nick Harper.
Nick Harper.
That vet is clean. That C5 makes me want like an 04, 06 like I've always wanted.
So tasteful. So what I'm saying is, get to my point. We gotta go to shows.
We have to, but it's
because we are the people. Like it's weird. It's one of those weird. And I hit those guys up about clean culture.
I want to travel. I want to put the cars on trailers and go.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. We're gonna do it.
I want Houston.
Now you got all the time in the world, so
I know I got some time now.
I work every Saturday, bro.
But I want to put Houston, not necessarily personally put Houston on the map. I just know there's so much here because it's a huge city, and it's really not. I mean, besides
it takes
elbows
one
and 84s. Yeah, and I think it's like those shows come into Houston.
We can pull from Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Corpus area. We can.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, how dare even a well-established show come in and say, y'all stuff raggedy, and it be true.
Facts.
That's basically why I walked away. I was so upset. And I won an award at the show. I'm best BMW. And it was just like, but it's not the best BMW. It's just because I know Tony didn't bring his car out that day. He sold his E36, but he didn't bring his car that day. The purple one? No, his was gray. Nardo gray, back when Nardo with an LS swap.
Nasty.
Cleanest. Been in like 10 magazines.
Okay.
He just stopped showing it. He's like, yeah. I showed it for like 2 years and I'm good. And I know how that feels. Anyway, my point is, man, I want Houston to be on that. And I don't think we need somebody outside to tell us our cars are dope or not. I think there's enough firepower here.
There is.
And
they
then
just don't come out.
We should attract people from Austin. We should attract people from San Antonio. We should attract people from Dallas. But I think Houston has a distinctive, dope car culture.
I think the biggest thing is people are over trophies. And I think money talks.
True.
But then again, you also have the politics side of things with judges.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other topic.
Somebody said that the reason why that purple BMW won the trophy is because he spent the most amount of money.
I've heard.
He said it with an earshot of me too. I looked at it, I was like,
so I've heard some stuff too from some shows and some judges. And
maybe
don't build your car for a trophy. Build your car for build your car for you.
For you, because what you like. That's what we're gonna end it on.
Yeah, build your car for you.
We gave you financial advice. We talked about James's history, how to finance cars, the art between your how much interest you're making on your investments and how much interest you're paying on your debt. Like, bro, we went through the gambit here, but I think that's a dope conversation. It's kind of like the Lisi and Hussein conversation. What I really want to show everybody but there's just some interesting people in the car community.
Yeah.
Man. We think and we talk about it. We talk about family. We talk about relationships. We talk about our careers. We talk about what's next for us, stuff like that, because that's interesting too, along with the car journey.
For sure.
So I appreciate you for coming on.
No, I appreciate you having me.
Dope,
I love
man.
that you're doing it.
I'm trying to.
I need you to keep doing it.
I'm trying to. Somebody said, I love, who was it that posted? Oh, shout out to Blake Sivian. He
That
posted
dude.
on
he was
Instagram.
watching on TV.
He was watching on TV.
No, Blake's
said,
good people though, bro. Like,
we need
Blake
more
is-
of this in Houston. So I hope people see, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to do something.
No, bro, you're doing good.
I'm trying.
You're doing fine.
I ain't gonna
You just
front.
got to keep going. You ain't scared to voice your opinion. So that's why.
I'm not. I'm not.
That's what you need to be able to do.
I appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you guys. Just a few programming notes. If you're listening to this, of course, on Apple, I'm going to stop saying this. In my last episode, saying this because I know y'all doing it. Rate the podcast. It's available on all platforms. So if you have the ability to leave a review, I know you can on Apple. Leave a review too. Like, engage with it. Share with your family and friends. There's interesting stuff. There's some nuggets on here for you to get better in life. Maybe learn about cars. Whatever. Mm-hmm. And also, on YouTube, that's going to do its thing. So we appreciate you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.